Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. I'm Mark Goldbridge and are Manchester United about to pull off another major surprise scoop and take Ruben Amorim from Sporting Lisbon from under the noses of Liverpool? We'll also be talking about the top 5 managers that United would look at if they were to leave Ten Hag and move forward without him. Lots of talk about this, of course, but I don't think we've actually sat there and gone through what are the top 5 targets at the moment, according to the bookies, which is obviously always going to be right. But look, let me talk to you first about Amorim. A fantastic coach, done a very, very good job at Sporting Lisbon, and is certainly, look, in some ways, very similar to Jurgen Klopp. I think they're one of the best teams in Europe for winning the ball high up the pitch, that high press. Obviously the Portuguese league, but he's got his principles. A massive 70% win percentage, which is massive even for the Portuguese league. So are Manchester United about to take him from under the noses of Liverpool? Well, we'll talk about that and the rumours around it. But before we do that, people are going to say, what's this all about? I've got a new book out. Goldbridge book is out. And I've got something to show you, actually, because I've got the prototype here. So look, no one's got hold of one of these yet. The Mark Goldbridge Football According to Mark Goldbridge, Get In, will be out this August. But you can pre-order it now. They've even got some signed copies for you. The book is all about my life in football and away from football. There's some fantastic stories in there. I mean, just reading some of them there just make me want to laugh. But check it out. And also, you know, we would love the book to do very well because it's a big up yours to everybody who goes, who's interested in that? We've built an amazing community. If you do pre-order the book, can you give a screenshot and go to my Instagram at GoldbridgeMark or the tweet I did at Mark Goldbridge earlier and just put just reply with the image of the pre-order, because we're going to use that on a compilation video for the launch with the book publisher as well. So you'd be part of that. But please do support it. You can click that link in the description or you can scan the QR code, get it pre-ordered. It's a really good book. I've written it myself and there's loads of stuff in there that people think they know that they don't. Some funny stories around football, etc. So check it out. Back to the show. Amorim, Manchester United, Liverpool. Look, I believe he will go to Liverpool because I believe that Liverpool are very good in recruitment, not just of players, but with managers. And they are in a position where they know Jurgen Klopp is leaving and they can offer. Amorim himself said a couple of days ago that he's not too sure what his future is going to be this summer. He's definitely going to leave Sporting Lisbon. There's definitely a lot of interest in him. And Liverpool obviously have got a team that is a Klopp team that I think is really young. And I'm very surprised Klopp's going. It's obviously because he's tired. So I think Amorim will just go to Liverpool. I really do. There has been some talk of Man United being interested. There's been a lot of talk of people saying Manchester United should be interested. But the problem that Manchester United have with Amorim, and it's not impossible. It's not impossible. He's currently, I'll tell you the top 5 in a moment, but Amorim is currently 3rd favourite for the Manchester United job. He's joint 3rd favourite. So it's not impossible. He's actually better odds than Nagelsmann, which I think is it's about around the same. He's got slightly better odds than De Zerbi, which I think is more interesting. But Man United are just not in a position to go and do this. Now, what they could do is what they've done with Ashworth and what they've done with Barada. They could just pull off this major surprise that hits tomorrow or next week or in a month. And Amorim's coming to Manchester United. You literally could be having a chat with him now saying, we do want you. We just can't announce this until the end of the season because we've got a current manager. It could happen. They could, say, we want you to rebuild Man United. It's not far-fetched. Liverpool fans will be in the chat saying we've won. I think you have won. I think he will go to Liverpool. What I'm saying is, from a United point of view, is it's not impossible when you think of some of the things INEOS have done recently. But the overarching thing with Amorim is there is a lot of interest in him. And I don't think United actually have made their mind up on Ten Hag enough to go and, grab a manager from Sporting Lisbon ahead of a Liverpool or a Bayern Munich or a Barcelona. I just don't think we're at that stage yet. So that's why I don't think we'll do it. In fact, I'm 95% sure he'll end up at Liverpool. But that's what I mean. It's just not a good manager summer market. It really isn't. I mean, get your comments in below. Would you like that sort of a person? The trouble is, by the time you've figured out whether you would, he's already signed for Liverpool, because we're not going to figure this out for ages. And, the only thing I think you could do is if it's just sack Ten Hag on Monday and then move quickly for someone like that. But I wouldn't rule that out. I just don't think it's the right thing to do. And the reason I don't think it's the right to do is because obviously we've had a horrific season. We've had injuries and lots and lots of upheaval. We saw that hour against Wolves when everybody was available and it was very, very promising. And I just think, well, you got a manager that you get a new manager in and you're going to give him everything the current manager's not had. You're going to give him stability. You're going to give him structure. You're going to get rid of players. You're going to bring players in. And you'll have a much better team next year. And I just think Ten Hag's not had that luxury this year. He had it in the year one, and look at what he did. I just think, why would you spend 10 million getting rid of him, competing for another manager who may well just be another Ten Hag who struggles? So I just don't think it will happen. I think by the time United decide, if they decide, and I hope they don't decide to get rid of Ten Hag, Amorim will already be a Liverpool manager. So that's my feeling on it. With regards to the news around it, as I said, there are some people talking about it, but it's more around he'd be a good manager for Manchester United. But having said that, he's coming in from the Portuguese league. He's never managed in the Premier League. You're writing off year one as he adjusts because if he goes to Liverpool, he's got a ready-made team that might even be the champions. If he comes to Man United, we haven't been a champion in 10 years. You got to rebuild the whole thing. You got to work under a new structure. I think it's obvious. And we have to, the big mic drop for me is that we have to be eyes open to the fact that we're not that attractive. We're Manchester United, but we're not that attractive. We've not done anything for 10 years. People watch us and go, God, they're problematic. I mean, some people will look at Man United and go, well, if they're not going to sell those 2 or 3 players and they're going to be here for the next while and they've been here for years and they're very, very, influential, my job's going to be very, very hard. You're not even starting the Man United job. You're not even starting with a clean canvas. You're coming in and having to deal with big players, big egos who probably aren't good enough, who aren't going to go anywhere. And I think that'll be a big turn off for any manager, to be honest with you, when you can go to a Liverpool that have already got an established dressing room. Anyway, let's look at the top 5 contenders for the Manchester United job. I mean, look, I've just gone to an odds checker, which has got all the betting companies like Paddy Power, Bet365, Sky Bet, Betfair, all that lot. And this is the top 5 according to them. So if we focused in on, let's say, random, let's go with Paddy Power then. So Hansi Flick is 16-1, massively outsider. So as I said, that's just not going to happen. Zidane is also 16-1, not going to happen. In fact, they're both the same as Thomas Frank, 16-1 for Hansi Flick and Zidane. Lopetegui is actually lower at 14-1. You've then got Roberto De Zerbi at 11-1. And then in 5th place at the moment, you've got Tuchel and Amorim as joint 5th place. Very, very close to who... actually, they're joint 4th place, aren't they? I've just got that wrong. De Zerbi would be 5th. Tuchel and Amorim would be joint 4th place at 10-1, which is, basically that means if you're into your betting, you put a tenner down, and if Tuchel or Amorim become Man United manager, you get 100 quid. So plus your tenner back. So, that's a long bet for Amorim or Tuchel. And the funny thing is about this list, when I was looking at it, it's a top 5 that gets crapper the higher you go. It's like when they used to have the top 10 for music. In at number 10, the best song ever written by the Beatles. In at number 9, the best song written by Oasis. In at number 7, the best song ever written by Queen. And at number 1, it's Ollie Murs. It's just like it's weird because the better managers are actually the outsiders. So yeah, you've got Nagelsmann, who is in at 4. In at number 3. Amorim and Tuchel are joint 5th with 10-1. You've got Nagelsmann at 9-1, so it's still very, very high out. If I'm being honest, you've got Amorim, Tuchel, Nagelsmann around 10-1 to be the next Manchester United manager. Now, just before we go to the 2nd place and 1st place, because this is universal across all the bookies at the moment, and it's quite worrying. These odds are probably very high because of 2 things. INEOS are not looking for a foreign manager, or they're not looking to get rid of Ten Hag at the moment, and all of those people are seen as massive outsiders because we're not looking to replace Ten Hag at the moment, and Nagelsmann's difficult to get. Amorim's not going to happen if he goes to Liverpool, and Tuchel is probably not the right choice, if we're being completely honest. So that could be one way of looking at it. So Nagelsmann is third favourite at the moment at 9-1, which is still a lot. In fact, Sky Bet have got him at 10-1, higher than Tuchel, who they've got at 8-1. So it's very high odds for Nagelsmann, Tuchel and Amorim, who take up third, fourth and fifth. Second favourite, massively lower odds at 4-1. So more than 50% better odds with this guy, Graham Potter. I mean, how is this guy the second favourite for Manchester United when you've got people like Amorim, Nagelsmann and Tuchel and De Zerbi, who are double those odds? And yet Graham Potter, who completely failed at Chelsea and has not had a job for over a year and got sacked before the end of the season, it was that bad, is second favourite to take the Man United job. It's absolutely stunning. You know, I think we're just numb from all the bad things that go on at United, because actually that is absolutely disgraceful that Graham Potter is second favourite for the Man United job ahead of the likes of Tuchel, Nagelsmann, Amorim, De Zerbi, Flick. It's incredible. What CV does he have to be in the running for the Man United job? And again, it goes back to what I said this morning. This is all because of Ashworth. This is Dan Ashworth influence. Really big mates with Gareth Southgate, and obviously really big mates with Graham Potter. This guy has not even worked at Man United yet, and we're getting linked to people like that. It's incredibly wrong. They are not Man United people at all. They are not Man United managers. It's incredible. But Graham Potter is second favourite at the moment at 4-1 to become Man United manager. I mean, did you see? I liked Graham Potter at Brighton. I felt Villa might be a good job for him at one point. But when you listen to his interviews for Chelsea, oh my God. I mean, he was so dull and so out of his depth. And Man United's the number one club in England when it comes to exposure and publicity and media. Just not on any level is he a Man United coach for me. And then, of course, the favourite, Graham Potter's 4-1. The favourite is Gareth Southgate, who is 2-1, which is what I'm talking about. Like, people go, oh, it's not true, Mark, it's not true. The bookies don't get it that wrong. And this is what the news is. This is what the news... I said it on Thursday in the afternoon. I was told it from a very good source and from somebody else. These talks around Gareth Southgate are 100% genuine around Man United if they sack Ten Hag. So, you know, the fact that, you know, Amorim would be a pipe dream if Ten Hag went, Nagelsmann and Hansi Flick and, you know, even Tuchel, they're established reputational managers that have managed big clubs or could potentially manage big clubs. And our two favourites are Southgate and Potter, and Southgate by a very long way. I don't know what's happening to Manchester United, really. I mean, look, I do hope that Sir Jim Radcliffe's just sat there laughing, going, let them talk. It doesn't matter. What we do in reality is what we do in reality. But it's not good. It's not good to be linked to those sort of people, of course. But look, I've said my piece about Southgate. I mean, unfortunately, I'm of an age where I've seen all of the Premier League. I'm English, so I do follow England. And Southgate, at no point in any part of history, has been a coach that you'd go, he's half decent. I mean, the funny thing is about Southgate, you can probably find the clips after the Euros when England have played really badly. The amount of time, and I never thought he'd be linked with the Man United job. The amount of times I've sat there and said he wouldn't get a job in the Premier League, and I've said it with total confidence. He wouldn't get a job in the Premier League. He's not good enough for any team in the Premier League. You know, Rob Edwards is a better coach than him at Luton. And yet here he is, being linked to Manchester United. It's incredible. So get your comments in below. What are your thoughts? I think Amorim is not going to happen. In fact, I think he'll be a Liverpool manager very, very soon. I think the timing of it's just not quite right. And also, I think that, you know, what is Amorim? His potential. We went and got that 2 years ago. We've had a horrible season. I think we should be just giving this manager another... certainly next season, and then I think the manager market will be better at the end of next season anyway. That's my feeling on it. Get your comments in though. I was going to say, who would be your top three if you had to do it? Obviously, I told you the top five with the bookies. It's Tuchel, it's Amorim, it's Nagelsmann, it's Potter, and then it's Southgate in that order, from good to shit for some reason. But what would your top five be? Managers for Manchester United, let me know. Try and be realistic. Don't say Zidane, because it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. My top 5, by the way, if I had to say it, I would say De Zerbi would be 5, Flick would be 4, Amorim would be 3, Nagelsmann would be 2, and yeah, probably myself at number 1. I don't know, actually. I've got a top 4. You know, maybe actually Nagelsmann would be 1, Amorim would be 2, Flick would be 3, De Zerbi 4, and probably Lopetegui or someone like that at 5, to be honest. And notice no Potter or Southgate in my top 5 at all. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Anyway, thank everyone for tuning in. Make sure you smash a like on the video and get your comments in below. And don't forget to at least go and have a look at it. Scan the QR code with your camera phone or go through the link in the description. The book is out. Someone's nicked it off me already. The book is out in August, but you can get pre-ordering now. It's a really good book. I've written it myself, if I do say myself. But also, please do, when you've pre-ordered it, take a screenshot, get onto Twitter at Mark Goldbridge or my Instagram at GoldbridgeMark and just reply with the picture, because we want to put that in sort of like a collage for a bit of a promotional thing we're going to do as well. And you will really enjoy it. If you're part of the community, you'll really enjoy it, because it's the story of YouTube, my life in football, some funny stuff as well. It's been an enjoyable thing that I've been working on for about a year now, so would love the support. I know you're a supportive community. There's a lot of haters out there saying he's going to buy that, this, that and the other, so it would be absolutely brilliant if we could just smash it and, you know, go in at number 1 or something like that. It'd be absolutely brilliant. But we're going to need your support as ever, and there's a tour coming up with that as well, so if you do get a book, happy to sign it and put some stuff in it for you as well. Thank you everybody for watching. Please support the book, and I'll speak to you all later.